local health official responds to the FDA granting emergency authorization for the Pfizer COVID-19 vaccine for kids as young as 12.
Demand for gas is skyrocketing after a cyber attack on fuel supplies. I'm Michael George with the area seeing shortages and what you can do to conserve fuel.
The 4 states most watched news starts now.
With the authorization of the Pfizer COVID vaccine for kids ages 12 to 15, schools and health departments are figuring out their next step. This is KOAM News at 5. The Newton County Health Department says it's preparing for a number of possible plans to get vaccines to that age group. The Health Department Administrator Larry Bergner says just recently they offered an on-site vaccination clinic for meningitis for graduating seniors. And he believes they could easily arrange something like that concerning COVID for the new age group. He says it's also important to get this age group vaccinated as soon as possible.
Those younger age groups, while they may not become sick or they may not be as affected, they can still carry the virus and therefore can pass that on to an age group that is have more detrimental effects of the COVID virus.
Tonight at 6, we're going to hear more from Bergner on getting that age group vaccinated, as well as from the Neosho School District Superintendent on their thoughts. Missouri Governor Mike Parson announced today his state is ending all federal pandemic-related unemployment benefits. Those benefits include an extra $300 in weekly unemployment payments. Governor Parson says he's ending the benefits to address workforce shortages across the state. Missouri's participation in that program will end on June 12th at 11:59 p.m. Students at a Southeast Kansas Education Center can now get hands-on when learning about solar energy. Heartland Rural Electric Cooperative teamed up with the Greenbush Education Service Center in Crawford County to create 2 solar farms, which will provide a lesson for students. Today, officials hosted a Flip the Switch event to celebrate the completion of the farms. Checking in with Doug Heddy. No rain out there at the moment, but kind of cool, Doug.
Yeah, we've had some light showers kind of cross through the region earlier today, but right now we just have the clouds. We have the chilly conditions. Any rain we did have earlier has slid across our southern counties, but we can't rule out a few isolated hit and miss showers during the overnight hours for us tonight. But most of us are pretty much done with this system. You can see the radar is pretty dry across the region, so not too much is going on for us. And it looks like it's just going to stay kind of chilly as we go through the evening hours. We should be topping out near 80 for this time of the year. We're in the upper 50s to lower 60s across the region. Let's go through time during the evening hours. Again, some hit and miss, very light showers through the overnight hours tonight, and that is just about it. And then we'll get rid of the system completely. We're going to drop back through the 50s, eventually into the 40s later on tonight. When are we going to warm up? When's it going to feel like May? We'll talk about that here in a bit.
All right, we'll catch you then. Thanks, Doug. The gas pipeline that delivers about 45% of the fuel consumed on the East Coast remains shut down, paralyzed by a cyber attack. And now the disruption is creating a mad dash to the pump in some parts of the Southeast. Michael George reports.
As the Colonial Pipeline shutdown entered another day, drivers along part of the East Coast felt the pinch.
It's been crazy. This is worse than a hurricane.
Danielle Charles and her daughter spent about an hour searching for gas in Florida before they were able to fill up.
4 gas stations we passed by, and they're all crowded up with cars.
In North Carolina, some drivers dealt with lines stretching for miles, and the governor declared a state of emergency.
You don't want to miss out. You don't want to be the one that doesn't get gas.
Colonial, which delivers 45% of fuel consumed on the East Coast, was forced to shut down operations after a group of hackers called DarkSide broke into its computer system as part of a ransomware attack. AAA says Americans shouldn't start panic buying gasoline. They should try to conserve gas by combining errands into one trip or using more fuel-efficient vehicles.
Gas station owners are and should act responsibly. We will have no tolerance for price gouging.
The White House is monitoring the situation, and President Biden plans to speak to Russian President Vladimir Putin about the cyber attack.
So far, there is no evidence based on from our intelligence people that Russia is involved, although there is evidence that the actor's ransomware is in Russia.
The shutdown is also putting airports on the East Coast at risk of low supply. American Airlines had to adjust 2 long-haul flights out of Charlotte. Colonial Pipeline hopes to reopen the line later this week, but cautions supply shortages are possible in the short term. Michael George, CBS News, New York.
To help prevent shortages, the Transportation Department is making it easier to move fuel by truck. Earlier, Colonial Pipeline experienced a temporary service disruption to its website unrelated to ransomware. That site has since been restored. A judge in West Virginia sentenced a former nursing assistant to 7 consecutive life sentences for murdering elderly veterans at a VA medical center. Rita Mays was sentenced to 1 life sentence for each of the 7 veterans she admits killing by injecting them with insulin. The murders happened in 2017 and 2018. The judge in the case called Mays, quote, the worst kind of monster. The confrontation between Israel and Hamas, sparked by weeks of tensions in contested Jerusalem, escalated today with Israel launching more airstrikes at Gaza and Hamas sending hundreds of rockets into Israel. Israel's Iron Dome missile defense system intercepted most of the rockets. The exchange has killed at least 30 people in Gaza and at least 3 Israelis. A little bit later, getting set to travel.
Most older Americans are now fully vaccinated. For many of them, that means it's time to travel. I'm Wendy Gillette with how seniors are sending travel bookings soaring.
And next in Health Watch, for many hypochondriacs, their symptoms worsened during the pandemic. Could be a 4th COVID-19 vaccine in the U.S. available later this year. The Maryland-based biotech company Novavax says it'll seek emergency authorization in the 3rd quarter of the year. The vaccine was originally slated to be reviewed by the end of June, but has pushed that deadline back. The company also hopes to get authorization in the UK and Europe. A Novavax vaccine is expected to be administered through 2 doses, 21 days apart. We have something exciting coming up this week on KOAM and Fox 14. On Thursday, we're going to be hosting Vaccine Day. Experts from Mercy Hospital Joplin will be taking your calls and answering your questions regarding the COVID-19 vaccine. Be sure to join us for each newscast, starting with KOAM Morning News for our Vaccine Day special. That's on Thursday. Health anxiety, a condition that used to be known as hypochondria, is an obsessive and irrational fear about having a serious medical condition. For many, the COVID pandemic has worsened their worries, but there are ways to help combat this unwelcome disorder.
The coronavirus headlines can make anyone uneasy.
But also concerned tonight with cases now up in at least 10%.
Health experts warn the U.S. is at risk of losing its progress against the virus.
But if you have health anxiety, the grim statistics can send your worries into overdrive. With health anxiety, healthy patients fret, panic, and obsess over medical concern.
Despite your efforts at self-talk and whatever else you do, you can't get rid of it.
If your symptoms interfere with your ability to think, perform everyday activities, or sleep, it's a good idea to seek medical help. Medications and therapy can help.
Far and away, the best treatment for anxiety disorders are therapies like cognitive behavioral therapy or desensitization therapy.
Some other tips: steer clear of sensationalized media coverage. Instead, get your information directly from sources like the CDC or the World Health Organization. Avoid Googling your symptoms to self-diagnose. Try meditation, yoga, exercise, or other healthy distractions to redirect your energy. Also, avoid caffeine, alcohol, and nicotine, which can trigger episodes. And go easy on yourself. Battling anxiety is challenging, especially during a pandemic.
Some experts believe health anxiety could affect more than 12% of the population. The disorder seems to impact men and women equally. New research at Penn Medicine finds a drug used to fight ovarian and prostate cancer may also help pancreatic cancer patients. More than 2/3 of pancreatic patients with a certain gene mutation saw their tumor shrink when given the drug rucagrib. Doctors hope this therapy could become an option for pancreatic cancer patients instead of aggressive chemotherapy. New soft sensors are now in development to monitor pregnant women without cumbersome belts and wires. Researchers at Northwestern and UNC Chapel Hill have replaced the old technology with flexible, thin, wireless sensors. The new devices can stream vital signs and other data straight to a doctor's smartphone or tablet. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, federal investigators look into a bottled water company after several reports of kids getting sick from their product.
And it's been pretty chilly over the past few days. When are we going to warm up? We're going to look at that coming up.
The KO.
Well, it's turned out to be a chilly Tuesday for us today. We've had some on and off light showers, especially in our southern counties, but kind of crummy outside over the past couple days after we saw really a pretty good weekend. Both Saturday and Sunday were pretty nice, even though we had some severe weather Saturday night into early Sunday morning. But temperatures have been chilly. Only mid-50s yesterday, cold start this morning, upper 50s for highs today. We should be getting close to 80 for this time of the year, but we are going to start stepping up the stairs a bit as we go through the next few days. 58 in Nevada, only 53 in Neosho, Miami at 54, 59 in Pittsburgh. So it's a very chilly evening. We can't rule out a few more light little showers outside the station, currently sitting at 58. North winds at about 10, humidity is at 60%. Through the evening hours, we slide back through the 50s, eventually into the upper 40s once again for us tonight. So another chilly night on tap for the entire four-state area. But the showers we had earlier, mainly in our southern counties, kind of pushing through. You can see a lot of clouds out there right now, but if we look underneath the clouds, not much is going on. In fact, most of us are dry right now. I do think we'll get a few more very light pop-up showers. You can see some popping up northeastern parts of Kansas. So a few random showers for us tonight, but not a big deal. And then we'll slowly get sunshine back as this wave passes. The main upper level wave is out across western parts of Nebraska, which is going to shoot off toward the east pretty quickly as we go through the next couple days. All right, let's go through time tonight. So here's about midnight. Again, you can see some spotty, very light showers across the region, lasting into the morning hours. So if you're getting up early, you may have a few random showers, and then we're going to break out. We're going to see partly sunny skies. So at least we're going to get a little bit of sunshine back. It's not going to be a terrible day. It's at least looking up. 47 to start, 58 by noon. High temp right around 63 during the afternoon. Tomorrow night, partly cloudy skies, still kind of chilly. Back into lower 40s again. Then as we go into Thursday, southerly winds start to return, so a little bit warmer. We get into the upper 60s, still below average, but at least we're heading in the right direction. We should get above 70 by Friday, but we could get a few random showers late in the day. Then thunderstorm chances start to increase over the weekend. So here's Saturday. We're going to go with a low severe threat Saturday, a little higher severe threat on Sunday, and then as we head into Monday, we have a front that pushes through. So if this front hangs up a bit, we could have severe weather chances on Monday, but as we go through early next week, this front kind of stays down to our south, so it keeps our severe weather chances on the low side as we go through early next week. But just a shift in that front by 100 miles could increase our chances. So I don't expect any severe weather the rest of this week, but low chances Saturday and then again Sunday. We need to watch these days to see if that front lifts a little farther north. Then it kind of returns again. I'm going to probably put at least a low chance on the 22nd as well. So it will start to pick up a bit, which nobody wants, but it will start to pick up a bit as we go through the next few weeks. 63 tomorrow, morning showers, 65 Thursday, 70 on Friday. We push 80 by Sunday, and then we stay fairly warm next week.
I know you and the weather team will keep an eye on all of it for us.
Yes, we will.
Thanks, Doug. Coming up, older Americans ready to travel are leading to a rise in vacation bookings. First, though, we honor a local veteran. James Ross served in the U.S. Marine Corps from 1961 to 65. His hometown, Parsons, Kansas. And we salute Corporal James Ross, a four-state hero.
The smart choice.
Federal investigators are looking into the company Real Water after the company's bottled alkaline water made several people ill. Over just 11 days, health authorities said 5 children between the ages of 7 months and 5 years became ill, all at risk of needing liver transplants. Health officials say the only common link between all the identified cases was the consumption of Real Water brand alkaline water. The company announced a nationwide voluntary recall 6 weeks ago. The federal government is investigating a potential steering problem in more than 1 million Honda Accords. The National Highway Traffic Safety Administration says the vehicles may veer or jerk out of the intended path of travel. More than 100 complaints have been filed involving Accords from the 2013 to 2015 model years. At least 2 crashes have been reported. The European Union is preparing a plan to reopen to vaccinated Americans, and many seniors are ready to go. Travel advisors say the older travelers are among those leading bookings. Wendy Gillette reports on the surge.
Gail and Bob Grossman are frequent travelers, vacationing in places like Italy, Brazil, and Ireland. But international trips were no longer possible when the pandemic hit. A year later, the senior couple is now vaccinated and eager to start flying abroad again.
As soon as Europe opens up, we're gone.
We go to Ireland every year also, and Ireland has can't give us an answer when we can get there, and we think postponing that trip as well.
We'll have lunch on the boat.
It's what travel advisor Hillel Spinner keeps seeing among his older clients.
Between February and March, I've noticed an increase of about 110%. And the reason for that is they've been vaccinated, they feel safe to travel again. The world is their oyster. They're like, where can I go now?
A recent survey by the American Society of Travel Advisors finds 44% of those polled say being able to travel is the main reason why they're getting vaccinated. And 2/3 of those surveyed feel the vaccine will enable them to do so. Jim Moses is the president and CEO of Road Scholar, which provides educational travel tours for older adults.
It's been unbelievable. We've seen about a 50% increase in the numbers of people who are enrolling in programs. They're so excited.
Wow. Elisa Kaufman is in her early 60s and planning a 60th birthday trip for her husband to Greece. It's a much needed getaway after losing her mother to COVID in August.
Travel is the only thing that you can buy that makes you richer. And that's the one thing that my mother taught me.
A lesson she can put to good use now that she's vaccinated. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, New York.
The travel agency Embark Beyond is seeing strong bookings in Turkey and Greece this summer. Another round of stimulus payments is heading out the door, but this time it's not for individuals. State, city, and local governments are set to receive a direct cash infusion from the American Rescue Plan today. The aid is intended to help governments make up for tax revenue shortfalls caused by pandemic-shuttered businesses. A crackdown on counterfeits at Amazon. The e-commerce giant says it blocked more than 10 billion suspected fake products last year. That's up 67% from the year before. The company says the number of counterfeiters trying to sell phony merchandise rose last year as scammers tried to take advantage of more people shopping online. Final check of the forecast next.
Conditions.
The CBS Evening News is next. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to hear from an area school official about the FDA's decision to authorize the Pfizer vaccine for 12 to 15-year-olds. Plus, Southeast Kansas Humane Society takes in several animals that were removed from an area home. And authorities at the Ottawa County, Oklahoma jail say an inmate started a fire in the jail last night. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Checking back in with Doug Heddy. It's kind of chilly out there, Doug.
It is, and we are going to drop back into the 40s once again later on tonight. We are going to have a few random showers tonight into tomorrow morning. Still kind of cool tomorrow, but at least we'll get some sunshine up to 63, 65 Thursday, 70 on Friday, and then pushing through the 70s with thunderstorm chances returning by the weekend.
Thanks, Doug, and thank you for joining us. The CBS Evening News is next. And of course, we're going to be right back here for KOAM News at 6. We'll see you then. In the meantime, let's take care of ourselves and each other.